Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. So do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. So today we're going to talk about 5 things not to do. All right? 5 things not to do that are impacting your wealth. So number 1, avoid the get rich quick schemes. Avoid the get rich quick schemes. So these are going to come in different forms. And one form is, lo and behold, you never guess, classes. All right. So, got to be careful out here. If you see these big sticker price classes, and they are out here, $20,000 classes, things like that, that are promising you wealth, and they come in the form of um, other people's money. You hear the term other people's money, and it looks like you can buy, lo and behold, real estate with other people's money. Be careful of that. All right. Be careful of the get rich quick schemes out here. So it can come in the form of classes. It can come in the form of meme stocks. So when it comes to becoming wealthy, this is a journey. So it's not quick. We all want it quick, right? It's not quick. This is a journey. It's building. You're building, 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 building. Oh, then somebody appears and they're going to show you how to get there faster. So be careful of the get rich quick schemes. That's number 1. Number 2, don't settle. Meaning, stop being comfortable with where you are. Stop being comfortable with your current situation. All right. So it is never too late to get to a new destination. So stop being comfortable with where you are. There's more work to be done. All right. So it all comes down to decisions. Are you going to spend 2 hours watching Netflix? Or are you going to spend 2 hours working on your business? Stop being comfortable with where you are. Number 3, don't rely on the government. So some people work, they put in years of work, and I mean 20 years of work, 30 years of work, 40 years of work, and they're depending on the pension, which they deserve because they work for 40 years, right? Or they're depending on the Social Security, which they deserve because they've been working for 20 years, 30 years. Well, some people have found out that something happened with their pension. So they were expecting a pension and there is no pension. Some people have discovered that Social Security is not enough to live on. And then we don't know how long Social Security is going to last. All right. And then there's always these changes happening in administration where being reliant on the government is a place that you don't want to be. right? So don't rely on the government. Number 4, don't just be a consumer. Don't just be a consumer. So we are all consumers. We're all buying something every day, whether that be you're buying food, you're buying gas. We're all buying something every day. However, adding into that, becoming an investor, investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, and starting a business. So becoming more than just a consumer. Now, everybody is not interested in doing all three. Perhaps you're not interested in starting a business, or perhaps you're not interested in starting real estate. But the more diverse you are, you're creating more of a safety net for yourself. Instead of just relying on one thing. So most people do not rely on just one thing. But the point is, becoming an investor, stocks, real estate, starting a business. So all three of these things are things that we're not taught in our education system. We're taught to go to school, get a job, and get up and go to work every day. But nowhere in this education system are they teaching you to invest in the stock market. Nowhere in the education system are they teaching you to buy real estate. And nowhere in the education system are they teaching you to start a business. And this is on purpose. This is done on purpose, because if we were taught this, everybody would be wealthy. And they can't have that. They can't have everybody being wealthy now. So don't just be a consumer. Add this investing component. Be an investor. Stocks, real estate. Start a business if you're interested. And then lastly, the banks benefit when you are in debt. So not getting into unnecessary debt. And by unnecessary, I mean financing things that you want but you don't really need. So financing clothes, or financing a vacation. So you want to avoid financing things that you don't really need. Credit cards, for example. So credit cards, generally interest rate is around 25%, and they're making a lot of money on those credit cards. Interest. They're making money from the interest. So avoiding charging that credit card for things that you don't need. Now, sometimes it's a necessity. But thinking about, is this charge a necessity or not? So say, for example, you have $5,000 on the credit card. By the time they get done charging you that interest, you're going to be paying over $10,000 in interest only. And that's how the credit cards are making money from you. So avoiding using your credit card for things that you don't really need. Avoiding getting into debt over things that you don't really need. For example, some people take out lines of credit for a car, for clothes, for vacation. So don't take out lines of credit for things that you want but you don't really need. Don't take out lines of credit for clothes, a vacation, or even a car. So a car is a liability because it's going to depreciate once you take it off of that lot. All right. So those are just 5 things to keep in mind. These are things put in place here to keep you poor. So if you're mindful of that, you're going to break out of this struggle bus. All right. So just being mindful to stay away from get rich quick schemes. And they're out here, definitely. Stay away from being comfortable with where you are. Are you chilling when you should be working on the business? Stay away from relying on the government. So you're building your wealth slowly but surely. You're not dependent on Social Security. Stay away from just being a consumer. So we're becoming investors, stocks, real estate, business, and staying away from unnecessary debt, buying things that you want but you don't need, charging up the credit card on those nice, beautiful clothes. Summer out here, these nice, beautiful summer dresses. So staying away from things like that, charging up that credit card for things that you want but you don't necessarily need, staying away from taking out lines of credit for things that you want but you don't necessarily need. And then knowing the difference between assets and liability, with the car being one example of a liability. All right, so do me a favor. If you like the channel, I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss episode. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor and type in that word real estate. If you are interested in buying real estate, either now or in the future, check out the link below. Join the wait list for the real estate group. And if you are a handsome man watching, check out the pin link below. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you on the next video.